With Mary, it's made it even worse and harder. I just keep kind of crossing my fingers that Janelle will decide to stick it out and figure.
There are secrets that bruise families. And then there are secrets that can destroy them completely. For over a decade, Sister Wives fans have watched the Browns unravel under the weight of jealousy, favoritism, and broken trust. Christine walked away. Janelle spoke up. Mary faded into the background. And through it all, Kody Brown clung to control, insisting he alone held the truth about their family's future. But what if the truth he guarded was far darker than anyone ever imagined? Tonight, we uncover the whispers of a secret wife, a woman erased from the spotlight, and a daughter living evidence of a chapter Kody never wanted exposed. If this story is true, it is not simply scandal. It is betrayal, abandonment, and the collapse of the very values Kody claimed to embody. A life in the shadows. Picture this. While Christine fought for scraps of affection, while Mary pleaded for love, and while Janelle worked tirelessly to keep the family afloat, Kody may have been leading a double life. On one side, the family we all know smiling for TLC cameras, selling the vision of faith and unity. On the other, another wife, silenced, hidden, forgotten. The clues, in hindsight, were always there. Unexplained absences, business trips that lasted too long, late-night phone calls in hushed tones, and carefully rehearsed excuses at the time. No one connected the dots. But now, those moments feel like puzzle pieces to a secret life. And then there's the child. A girl said to have grown up watching her father from afar. She knew his face, but not his embrace. She listened as he preached family values on TV, even as she lived without acknowledgement. To her, Kody was never dad. He was an icon from a distance. A man who built a dynasty of family while leaving her outside its gates. The wives begin to suspect. Christine admits she often questioned Kody's errands that never made sense. Mary remembers long nights waiting for phone calls that never came. Janelle, ver practical, saw the inconsistencies but bit her tongue, not wanting to unravel a family already hanging by a thread. Robyn, fans believe she always knew more than she revealed. Her guarded silences suggested she had seen the signs but chose loyalty over confrontation. On camera, Kody spoke about unity and sacrifice. But behind closed doors was love being divided, in ways no one dared imagine. Whispers become rumors. The first real suspicions didn't come from the wives. They came from fans. A blurry photo, a strange sighting, a tweet claiming Kody was seen with a woman no one recognized. At first, the notion seemed absurd. Kody was drowning in responsibilities with 4 wives and 18 kids. Why would he risk adding more chaos? But in polygamous culture, there is a difference between a legal wife and a spiritual wife. The latter leaves no paperwork, no legal trail, just vows made in private. This would explain why TLC never filmed her, why her name was never spoken, why she and her daughter remained invisible. To some, this was not just rumor. It was the missing piece that explained years of odd behavior. A cracking facade inside the Brown homes, tension was quietly rising. Christine noticed the emptiness in Kody's eyes, his body there, his spirit elsewhere. Mary tracked his growing disappearances and closed-door calls. Janelle watched her children ask pointed questions. Why doesn't Dad come to my games anymore? And Robyn saw the careful way he chose his words, each sentence vague enough to dodge suspicion. None of the wives had proof. But they had instincts, and their instincts told them something was being hidden. The visitor, and then the day came. A knock at the door, quiet, deliberate. A woman appeared known to most, but not to Kody. For a flicker of a second, recognition passed across his face. Not fear, not surprise, recognition. The wives caught it. Their hearts sank. That night, silence filled the house like smoke. Christine watched him brood over an untouched cup of coffee. Meri paced her room, dread coiled in her chest. JanelleForce.com, bracing herself for a truth she no longer wanted to deny. Robyn said nothing, but her eyes were sharper than ever. Even the children felt it. Their play grew quiet. Their laughter dimmed. A storm was coming. The confrontation, it began not with anger, but with questions. Christine asked where he had been. Meri pressed about the phone calls. Janelle demanded honesty. Robyn simply observed, measuring everything. Kody tried to deflect. He offered vague answers, excuses too thin to hold weight. And then, like cracks spreading through glass, the truth surfaced. Yes, there was another woman. Yes, it had lasted 4 years. No, it wasn't legal. Yes, there was a child. The room shattered. Christine's heartbreak turned to vindication, her suspicions confirmed. Meri's tears fell for the marriage she had clung to, now exposed as hollow. Janelle's fury simmered under her steady voice. Robyn sat frozen, silently calculating the fallout. The revelation spread like wildfire. Old resentments reignited. Years of neglect and favoritism suddenly had a new explanation. The children didn't know details, but they felt the quake. Their sense of security cracked. Their laughter faded. They clung tighter to one another. By morning, nothing was the same. Kody's image as a faithful husband and father. Christine walked away stronger. Meri reeled in grief. Janelle grew protective and resolute. Robyn tried to salvage what she could, but even she knew the story had changed forever. The Brown family was fractured beyond repair. Forgiveness or final betrayal. So here we are. If these rumors are true, what do they mean? For years, fans watched the Browns wrestle with jealousy, money, and faith. But this is not miscommunication or favoritism. This is betrayal at its deepest level up. Hidden wife and a hidden daughter erased from the narrative. And so the question remains, if this secret is true, can Kody be forgiven? Or has he crossed the one line that even his most loyal supporters can't excuse? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because how this story is remembered depends on what you believe. One thing is certain. Once a secret like this comes to light, nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same again.
6 weeks shoveling snow, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I saw you at like 4 feet at one point.
It is hard for me to.
There are secrets that can fracture even the strongest families, and then there are secrets that can destroy them completely. For years, fans of Sister Wives have watched the Browns unravel under jealousy, favoritism, and broken trust. Christine walked away, Janelle found her voice, and Meri was pushed into the background. Through it all, Kody Brown clung to control, insisting only he knew the truth about their future. But what if the truth he was hiding was far darker than anyone imagined? Tonight, we dive into whispers of a secret marriage, a hidden wife, and most shocking of all, a daughter who may carry the Brown bloodline, but who has lived in the shadows unacknowledged. Imagine it, while Christine fought for Kody's attention, while Meri begged for scraps of affection, and while Janelle tried to hold the peace, Kody may have been living a double life. One family smiling for TV cameras, and another erased from history. The signs, it turns out, may have always been their strange absences, mysterious trips, vague answers whenever fans pressed him about where he had been. Was Kody protecting his family, or hiding a truth that could destroy them all? Cracks beneath the surface from the very beginning. The Brown story was never normal. Kody believed plural marriage wasn't just a lifestyle, which was his calling. TLC cameras followed the family through chaos, financial struggles, and endless jealousy. Viewers saw Christine's laughter mask pain, Meri's smiles hide loneliness, Janelle's calm voice steady the storm. And Robyn's tears flow at every scission. And Robyn's tears flow at every breaking point. On screen, they looked united. Off-screen, fractures ran deep. Kody's unexplained disappearances became harder to ignore. He missed birthdays, skipped milestones, and offered excuses that didn't add up. Christine later admitted she often wondered where he really was. Mary endured long nights, waiting for calls that never came. Janelle stayed quiet to keep the fragile peace. And Robyn always seemed to know more than she let on. Even fans noticed inconsistencies. A sighting of Kody far from home, a social media post that didn't line up, whispers of another woman. Slowly, a new picture began to form. Whispers of another wife. Kody has always thrived on charisma. Before the cameras, he drew people in with his vision and charm. But charisma can be dangerous. It blinds some while making others suspicious. That's why whispers of another wife began to spread. Not Christine, not Janelle, not Mary, not Robyn, someone else. At first, the idea seemed absurd. How could a man already struggling to juggle 4 wives possibly hide a 5th? But then came the rumors of a spiritual marriage, not legal, not filmed, but real to those involved. And this woman wasn't alone. Evidence suggested she had a daughter, Kody's child, growing up in silence. Watching him preach about family values on screen while never being acknowledged in real life. This wasn't just scandal, it was betrayal, abandonment, a rewriting of the family story in real time. The tension builds. The Browns' home carried its own kind of silence, the kind that feels louder than words. Christine noticed Kody's distant eyes. Mary tracked his late-night calls and locked doors. Janelle noticed the children asking hard questions. Why didn't Dad come to my recital? Why didn't he call me back? Robyn, ever the peacemaker, said nothing, but she knew. Then came the knock. It was soft but firm. The visitor didn't belong to their circle. Kody's expression flickered for just a second. Recognition. Not fear, but something close. The wives exchanged uneasy glances. Something was wrong. That night, silence smothered the house. Christine watched Kody brood over cold coffee. Mary paced her room, heart racing. Janelle forced a smile for the children, but her jaw was tight. Robyn studied him carefully, waiting. Secrets don't stay buried forever. The breaking point. By morning, the tension was unbearable. Every glance, every pause felt loaded with meaning. And then it broke. It wasn't a dramatic explosion. It was a quiet confession, heavy enough to shake the entire family. Christine asked the questions out loud. Where had he been? Who had he been with? Why the secret calls? Kody's answers were vague, but they told the truth he was trying to hide. He spoke of commitments and responsibilities he couldn't explain. The wives heard what he wasn't saying. Christine's face hardened. Mary's lips trembled. Janelle's fists clenched. Robyn stayed calm, but her eyes betrayed her. The truth had slipped into the room, and it couldn't be pushed back out. The revelation whispers turned into confirmations. There had been another relationship. A woman, a child. The wives reacted in ways that revealed their deepest wounds. Christine felt vindicated. Her instincts had been right. But the betrayals still cut deep.